Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, yeah. So this week, what we are talking about at the, Healthy Mama No Drama community is gut health. Gut health. Sorry, my computer's doing weird things. Gut health is a topic that I have researched quite a bit over years, partially because of just personal interest. The more you kind of learn about something, sometimes the more you want to learn because you know how much more there is to know. But then also partially because of just the health journey that our family has been on. Some personal, gut health things that I've come to discover over the last couple of years, but also, many of you know that a little over a year ago, my husband was diagnosed with very severe PTSD. And as I've watched the symptoms and this PTSD kind of unfold in his life over the last 11 or so years, um, it's kind of given me a front seat to seeing in a very firsthand way, the incredible connection that there is between our gut health and our mental health. Um, and so as I've researched more and more about gut health and trying to, help our family, of course, I've come to a place where I'm seeing information about. It's called the gut brain axis. And there's all kinds of stuff out there that supports the fact that our brain and our gut, they communicate and they're so intertwined and connected. So the gut, our gut sends nutrients to our brain, okay? And this is something else that I've been doing a lot of research and learning about lately is just the kind of the crisis that we find ourselves in, probably especially as Americans, but I think a large majority of the world, we are just not getting the nutrients that our bodies need. Um, Partly because of the quality of our soil today. Just something simple like a potato has a fraction of the nutrients that a potato a few hundred years ago would have had, maybe not even a few hundred years ago. And so there's that, like our soil quality is producing food that's not as nutrient dense. But then also the standard American diet, right? It's called SAD. It's like the acronym is SAD, Standard American Diet, and it is sad. Like we have processed food and refined, carbohydrates and sugar and just all of this stuff all around us. It's almost impossible to avoid, right? And so when our bodies are not getting the nutrients that they need, then our gut cannot send the nutrients to our brain that it needs, right? So there's a problem there. But then the brain also communicates to the stomach. I think that's fascinating, right? So have you ever had a gut wrenching experience or been in a situation that made you feel nauseous? Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach? Um, these are all expressions that exist for a reason. And that reason is because there really is a connection between our brain and our gut, our stomach. So the gastrointestinal tract is very sensitive to emotion, anger, anxiety, sadness, feeling elated. Um, all of these feelings and emotions and others can trigger symptoms in the gut. And so I think it's just very fascinating. Last year, so in 2021, a man by the name of Jack Gilbert, he's a pediatric professor at the University of California, San Diego. He did a study and because he had this idea that food could be a solution for improving people's mental health. Okay, so we as humans have about 40 trillion bacterial cells in our bodies, which is a lot, right? And these bacteria produce a neurotransmitter called GABA. You may have heard of it, right? What GABA does is it affects your nervous system by sending signals to your brain, which then ultimately changes its chemistry. Okay, now I know that's like a lot of science talk, but basically this man, Jack Gilbert, his research found that people who suffer from major depressive disorder are often missing that bacteria that creates GABA. Okay, so the theory is that if this missing bacteria could be replaced in the form of some sort of specific probiotic or a change in diet, then it could possibly like cure or significantly improve some forms of depression. Like incredible. So, even the science is showing like diet could have a very intense outcome on our mental health. So it's just something to think about. It's something that I think is very thought provoking, right? And I personally, today actually, yeah, today I am finishing a 30-day cleanse that I have been doing. And this cleanse is focused on improving and resetting the gut health to impact, my overall health, right? It's designed to kind of flush out and cleanse my organs, um, and allow my body to then kind of flush out all the bad bacteria, all the bad stuff. And then at the end of the cleanse, which is the phase I'm in now, I'm finishing up today, is repopulating, my gut with healthy and good bacteria. And so for me, leading up to doing this cleanse, like it's healthy and good to do a cleanse once or twice a year anyway, just to help our bodies stay in optimal working condition, right? But I had just been noticing several symptoms that can very easily be linked to some gut health issues. And so I was like, I have got to do this. And I'm so thankful that I did. I feel a difference. I see a difference. By resetting your gut, you're able to take those steps toward bringing healing to many other parts of your body. And so gut health is a topic that I feel everyone can benefit from. And that's why I decided this week that's what we're going to be focusing on here. I really would love for this to be a conversation. So I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions. What are you doing to support a healthy gut? Maybe you're more in the position of, I feel like I have some gut health issues that need to be addressed, but I don't know what to do about it. Um, Wherever you are on that spectrum, I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions, comment below. Um, Jump on over. I have the link to my most recent blog post that's all about gut health, what it is, what causes, some issues in our gut health, how to fix those issues, how to avoid those issues. Um, so make sure to check that out if you have not checked that out yet either. But let's have a conversation about this. Where are you on your gut health journey? Did you even know that that was a thing? If you did, what are the steps that you're taking to, create an optimal environment in your gut? It's just such a funny topic. I think people stray away from it, but it's so important because it really does affect our overall health. 70+% of our immune system, do you know where it resides? Yeah, in your gut. So if our gut is not working, our immune system is going to be weakened. So it's just so important that we're giving our body the nutrients and taking those steps so that we can be healthy, especially right now. Physical health is so important right now. Mental health is struggling so much right now. I'm actually participating in a group of some people who are learning all about emotional health and how to support our emotional health. So maybe more to come on that soon. But share. I would love to hear more information that you would love to see or hear about. Let me know, and I'd be happy to share. But I really would. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's encourage one another to, even if it's one small step, making one small change, right? One small change is mountains better than doing nothing. It's one step in the right direction. So even share, like, check out the blog post and then comment either in the blog or here, what is one small change that you're going to make and start working on to support your gut health. Have a happy Tuesday.